Welcome to week 5. Before we even begin, you have to know, we're talking about the enemy this week. And when I spoke to Jennifer, I realized I give the enemy a lot more room to do damage in my life than I'd like to admit. In today's conversation, Jennifer gives us the most practical way to put a stop to him, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. Before we get to that lesson though, let's review our memory verse and chat about a few reminders. Only 2 more verses to go, but let's focus on Psalm 23:5. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup runs over. Another week calls for another teaching video from Jennifer. It'll be available on Friday, and be on the lookout and make sure to watch them within a week. And your week at a glance has all this info and more. Now, let's get to that teaching because the enemy has no place here. Okay, week 5, Jennifer. So we've made it through 4 full weeks.
Yes, way to go, team.
Yes, way to go, team is right. But this week, I had my personal aha moment, and that had to deal with the enemy. And you said something about how we need to stop pulling up the chair for the enemy. And to me, that meant I need to stop maybe thinking about certain lies that I hear him whisper to me, or stop entertaining certain ideas or thoughts.
Yeah.
And so what would you say to us, and how would you help us stop pulling up a chair to the enemy, for the enemy?
Well, and by the way, I heard Louis Giglio use that the first time, how the Lord prepares this table before us, right? All these blessings, and we pull up a chair for the enemy so he can
I do that so often.
steal it all.
Yeah.
I know. I think the way I do it is by managing what I think about and what I'm saying to myself. A few, studies ago, y'all did Me, Myself, and Lies, right?
Yes, self-talk, right?
Yes, and so I talk about these 3 R's, that you recognize what you say to yourself. When you realize it's a lie, you refuse it, and then you replace it with truth. So to recognize what you're saying to yourself is a way to make sure you don't pull up a chair for the enemy. You ask yourself, is what I'm saying true?
Yeah.
Is what I'm believing, does it agree with God's truth? Or even bringing it way down to earth,
Yes.
is what I'm saying to myself right now, or what I'm thinking about. Would I tell a child whom I love, hey, I want you to talk to yourself this way, or this is a good way to live? And if that's not true for them, then it's not true for you.
I remember you bringing that up during the Me, Myself, and Lies online Bible study, and it was such an aha moment of like, I would never tell the freshman girls that I lead at church the lie that I'm telling myself.
Exactly.
And so it's a really good way to recognize
It clarifies it, right?
Clarifies it,
Yeah.
exactly.
So you recognize, and then when you realize it's not true, you refuse it. You hold it captive, like 2 Corinthians tells us to do in chapter 10, and you hold that thought captive until it obeys Christ. Well, once it obeys Christ, then you can pull up a chair and let it sit at the table with you. Because it's not going to steal the blessings.
Right.
It's going to enhance the blessings.
It'll add to the blessings.
That's right.
That's
right.
good. So we need to stop pulling up a chair for the enemy, because
Yeah.
he does not deserve a
He
seat
does not
at
belong.
the Lord's table.
No, he does not belong.
That's right. All right, Jennifer. Well, on to week 5. Thank you so much. Okay, girls, did you catch that? We need to recognize, refuse, and replace. When she gave us the advice to think of a young woman in our life, whether that's a mentee, a daughter, or a sister, I immediately thought about the girls I lead at church. Such a good reminder for me to check what I'm allowing into my thought process. And remember, the enemy has no place here, and we have a weapon to use against him. It's called the truth of God's word, because we know when we know the truth and live the truth, it changes everything.